The siren lights flash before the officers even reach the car. Their cruiser parks behind the black Rolls-Royce idling outside the upscale suburban cafe. Everyone watches like something criminal just arrived. Ethan Cole, mid-30s, software engineer, quiet, dressed in clean business casual, is standing by the driver's door of the glossy midnight black Rolls-Royce Ghost. He's checking the touchscreen display, adjusting settings. The car still smells factory new. The whole moment feels calm. Until she arrives. A tense voice slices the air. Karen Jefferson, 50s, HOA board member type, expensive haircut with a mean stare, approaches like she owns the street. Karen, snapping. Where did you get that car? Ethan looks up, puzzled. Ethan. Dealership? She laughs like he told a joke. Karen. That's funny. You? No. Just no. People like you don't buy cars like that. So tell me, who did you steal it from? Ethan blinks, stunned. He thinks it's sarcasm, tries to brush it off. Ethan. It's mine. I literally just picked it up this morning. Karen circles the car, scanning it like a stolen artifact. Karen. Rolls-Royce isn't for low-class liars. You don't even match the neighborhood. Ethan feels eyes on him. A few onlookers whisper. His breath grows tight. He calmly brings out the key fob and taps the door button. The car responds with a soft chime. Smooth, elegant, authentic. Karen's eyes narrow. She lifts her phone, dialing with a dramatic flourish. Karen. You know what? Let the police figure it out. I'm reporting a stolen luxury vehicle right now. Two cops step out of the cruiser, Officer Hale and Officer Ramirez. Hale is rigid, expression blank. Ramirez looks cautious but curious. Officer Hale. Sir, step away from the vehicle. Ethan. Officers, I can explain. Officer Ramirez, interrupting gently. We just need proof of ownership. Someone reported a theft. Ethan realizes what's happening. Karen isn't concerned, she wants to humiliate him. He takes a slow breath and opens the glove box for the paperwork. Karen yells sharply. Karen. He's breaking in. He's trying to get something. Hale grips his taser. Ethan freezes, hands visible. Ramirez, calmly. Ma'am, please step back. Sir, just hand the documents slowly. Ethan hands over the title, insurance, and ID. Hale examines them with suspicion. Officer Hale. This ID says you live on Oakwood Lane. But that neighborhood doesn't. He hesitates. Typically have this type of car. Ethan raises a brow. Ethan. You mean people like me don't? Hale says nothing, but his expression answers. Karen smirks triumphantly, arms crossed like she's already won. The officers step aside and whisper over the documents. Ramirez nods. Hale's shoulders drop a little. Finally, Ramirez returns. Officer Ramirez. Everything's valid. The car belongs to Mr. Ethan Cole. Karen blinks. Shocked. Then furious. Karen. Check deeper. He hacked something. Ask the dealership, the bank, this is fraud. Officer Hale looks irritated, but he clearly doesn't want to back down in front of her. He asks. Officer Hale. Sir, how exactly did you afford this car? Ethan nearly laughs at the absurdity. Ethan. Is that a legal question? Hale doesn't respond. Ethan exhales slowly. His jaw tightens. Something inside him hardens, not from anger, but resolve. Ethan. If you want proof, I'll provide it. But you should know, accusing someone of theft without evidence? That's defamation. And profiling? That's a civil rights issue. We can handle this the easy way, or very publicly. Karen's eyes widen. Hale shifts, uncomfortable. Ramirez clears his throat. Officer Ramirez. I think we're done here. Enjoy your day, Mr. Cole. They leave. Karen stands frozen, red with embarrassment. Ethan opens the car door and looks right at her. Ethan. Next time, use your eyes before using 911. The Rolls-Royce glides away, silent, powerful, leaving Karen in the reflection of its polished surface, small and humiliated. But Ethan notices something in the rearview mirror. Karen glaring, phone still in hand. She isn't finished. The real trouble is only beginning. It starts the next morning with an email, polite, formal, and dripping with threat. Subject: verification required. From Oakwood Lane Homeowners Association. Mr. Cole. Kindly submit proof of ownership for all motor vehicles kept on community property for security validation. Failure to comply may result in fines or towing. Ethan reads it twice. There's no such rule. He's lived there 3 years, never owned anything fancier than a Toyota before this. But one drive home with a Rolls-Royce, and suddenly, he's a security concern. He scrolls down and sees Karen Jefferson, HOA Vice President, listed as sender. Ethan, muttering. You're kidding me. He doesn't reply. Instead, he grabs his keys. The Rolls-Royce hums awake, a whisper of luxury, and Ethan drives to the dealership where he bought it. At the dealership. The showroom is a cathedral of polished steel and quiet wealth. The salesman who sold him the Ghost, Anthony Turner, greets him warmly. Anthony. Mr. Cole. How's the honeymoon with your dream car? Ethan forces a thin smile. Ethan. Less honeymoon, more Fight Club. I need copies of everything. Title, payment receipts, bank verification. Somebody's trying to challenge ownership. Anthony's face tightens into concern. Anthony. That only happens when someone really wants you to lose the car. Ethan. Or wants to see me humiliated. Anthony steps closer, lowers his voice. Anthony. Rich communities get territorial. A Rolls-Royce is status currency. You show up with one and don't fit their expectations? You become a target. Ethan absorbs that. It's not about a car. It's about perception. Anthony prints documents, notarizes multiple copies, and hands them over. Anthony. If they push further, tell them the dealership will intervene. Rolls-Royce customer service doesn't take kindly to fraud accusations. Ethan nods. For the first time today, he feels supported. But Anthony isn't finished. Anthony. And be careful. People who think they're losing power get desperate. Back at Oakwood Lane. Ethan pulls into the neighborhood. A group of neighbors pause their morning jog and stare, not curious, but suspicious. The HOA printed flyers? Gossip spread? Something changed overnight. He parks in his driveway. Before he steps out, a phone camera appears from across the street. A lanky teen films him like a detective collecting evidence. Teen. Mom said you're going to jail for fraud. Ethan exhales through his nose. Ethan. Tell your mom she should wait for the sequel. He enters his house. He barely sets the documents on the kitchen island when a sharp, rapid knock rattles the front door. He opens it to see 3 HOA board members on his porch, not just Karen. Karen's arms are crossed, victorious. The president, Douglas Wynn, holds a clipboard. Treasurer Linda Owens stands stiff beside him, hands clasped. Douglas, cold smile. Mr. Cole. We received your vehicle documentation request. We're here to collect it. Ethan. Request? You demanded it. Linda. Community image is crucial. Residents must reflect the integrity of Oakwood Lane. Ethan. Integrity was questioned the moment you assumed I stole something. Karen steps forward, lips curled. Karen. Just hand over the papers. If your purchase is legitimate, this shouldn't bother you. Ethan notices all three have bodycams pinned to their jackets. HOA doesn't normally document conversations. Ethan. Why the cameras? Douglas. For evidence, should your behavior turn hostile. Hostile? He hasn't raised his voice. This isn't a request. It's a trap. Ethan picks up a folder, but not the official paperwork. Instead, he hands them photocopies missing key pages, extra boring, legally useless. Karen snatches them. Karen. You'll hear from us soon. Ethan. Looking forward to it. They leave. Cameras still recording. Ethan investigates. He sits at his desk, opens his laptop, and searches. Oakwood Lane HOA lawsuits. Dozens of links appear. He clicks the most recent. HOA accused of discriminatory enforcement. Targeting homeowners based on occupation, vehicles, and socioeconomic profiling. Settlements sealed. No details released. Ethan scrolls deeper. Finds a PDF of HOA regulations. There's zero mention of vehicle ownership verification. No luxury restriction. No requirement to disclose financial proof. In fact, the HOA has no authority to question income or purchases. Karen isn't following rules. She's bending them. Twisting power for personal crusades. Ethan keeps digging. He spots something odd. Karen wasn't elected. She was appointed after the previous VP suddenly resigned midterm. Resigned, or forced out? A thought hits him. What if the HOA has been enforcing selective rules to keep control of property values and resident composition? A quiet gatekeeping conspiracy? If he exposes them publicly, they wouldn't just lose their fight against him. They might lose the entire HOA board. The email. Before Ethan can think further, another notification pops up. Subject: Emergency HOA meeting tonight. Attendance mandatory. Karen's name again. But below, something more threatening. Topic: Community fraud and vehicle misrepresentation. She's doubling down. They're going to put him on trial. In front of the whole neighborhood. Ethan looks at the Rolls-Royce parked outside his window. The sun reflects off its perfect paint, but it might as well be a target. His quiet, normal life is gone. Tonight, he fights back. The community hall feels like a courtroom disguised as a clubhouse. Rows of folding chairs face a projector screen, HOA banner pinned behind a long table where the board sits like judges. Neighbors pack the room, buzzing with anticipation. Word spread: everyone thinks Ethan stole a Rolls-Royce. At the front, Karen sits center stage, a smirk stretched across her face, waiting to win. The president, Douglas Wynn, taps a microphone. Douglas, formal, rehearsed. Thank you, residents of Oakwood Lane, for attending this emergency meeting. We are here to address a matter of potential fraud within our community. The crowd murmurs. Ethan sits in the second row, arms folded, expression unreadable. Douglas, gesturing. Mr. Ethan Cole has been asked to verify ownership of a luxury vehicle currently parked in our neighborhood. His cooperation has seemed incomplete. Karen rises like a prosecutor about to deliver a death blow. Karen. Residents, this is not personal. This is about security. We cannot allow anyone living here to bring in suspicious property and refuse to prove its legality. Lies. She asked for proof, he gave copies. She wants humiliation, not safety. Karen holds up the folder Ethan gave them, clearly too thin to be full documentation. Karen. What he provided are partial, vague documents, nothing that proves ownership. Even his employment status is unconfirmed. Whispers ripple through the room. Neighbor number 1. Is he unemployed? Neighbor number 2. Maybe he hacked a bank. Ethan stands slowly. Calm. Contained. Ethan. You're suggesting I'm a criminal, because of a car. Karen fires back instantly. Karen. We just want the truth. If you bought that Rolls-Royce legitimately, you shouldn't object to basic verification. The room nods. Logic twisted into peer pressure. Ethan steps to the front, facing everyone. Ethan. You're right, truth matters. So let's reveal everything. Completely. Publicly. Karen's grin expands, she thinks he's about to collapse. Ethan pulls out not a folder, but a thumb drive. Ethan. This contains complete verified documents. Payment receipts, notarized title, bank transfer, insurance record. And one extra thing. Douglas squints. Douglas. Extra? Ethan walks to the projector laptop and plugs it in. Ethan. A legal guideline overview of HOA limitations. The screen lights up. A PDF titled HOA Validation Violations, Civil Liability and Discriminatory Targeting. The hall goes silent. Ethan scrolls. He highlights a section. No HOA may demand personal financial proof or asset justification as a condition of residency unless previously disclosed as a mandatory covenant at signing. Ethan. No such clause exists in Oakwood Lane regulations. Which means what you're doing is illegal. Douglas shifts in his seat. Linda pales. Karen looks momentarily thrown but recovers fast. Karen, angry. This isn't about laws. This is about protecting our home values from. She nearly says it. From people who. She stops herself, realizing every word can be used against her. Ethan, quiet, loaded. Say it. Karen freezes. The trap is visible now, but she can't back out without exposing herself. Ethan clicks again. New headline on the screen. Oakwood Lane HOA settles discrimination case, record sealed. Gasps from the crowd. Ethan. You forced the last vice president to resign after selectively targeting residents based on income, profession, and perceived status. A lawsuit was filed. You settled it quietly. He points directly at Karen. Ethan. And you're doing it again. Karen's face collapses from smugness to panic. She lunges for control. Karen. He's lying. Those were misunderstandings. Ethan. Really? Because I contacted one of the affected families this afternoon. The screen switches a recorded video of a former homeowner. We moved because they wouldn't let us park our BMW. They told us we didn't fit the aesthetic. We sued. We won. We left. The room explodes with outrage. Neighbors stand, demanding answers. Neighbor number 3. Did you lie to us? Neighbor number 4. Are we part of discrimination? Neighbor number 5. I'm calling my attorney. Douglas tries to bang the mic for order. Douglas. Everyone, please, calm down. This is being taken out of context. Ethan steps forward again. Ethan. Here's the real context. Karen didn't think someone like me could own a Rolls-Royce. She assumed theft, called 911, tried to weaponize the HOA, and now she wants to destroy my reputation just to protect a status hierarchy that doesn't exist. Neighbors stare at Karen as if seeing her for the first time. Ethan, finishing. This isn't about community protection. It's about control. Karen trembles with rage. Karen. You arrogant. Her voice cracks. Outsider. Too late. The word lands. Ugly. Exposed. Gasps. Phones come up. People record. Douglas slams the meeting shut. Douglas. We will revisit this. Meeting adjourned. But the room is already swarming, neighbors confronting the board, demanding resignations. Ethan watches quietly as Karen's power base melts away under phone lights and evidence. The war is over. Or so he thinks. Because across the hall, a figure he doesn't recognize is watching him. Tall, expensive suit, HOA legal badge in hand. He isn't angry. He's smiling. The neighborhood looks different the morning after the meeting. Not physically, same manicured lawns, same stone mailboxes, but the silence has changed. Attention replaced with something else. Unease. Awareness. Distrust. Ethan steps outside to grab his mail. Eyes peek from windows, not hostile anymore, but curious, cautious, like residents suddenly realize they've been living under a system they never questioned. Across the street, a few neighbors gather. They don't look away this time. One of them, a man who never spoke to Ethan before, waves. Neighbor number 1. Hey, congratulations on shutting them down. For real. Another neighbor nods. Neighbor number 2. Never thought the board was that shady. Ethan offers a polite smile. Ethan. I didn't want to fight. Just respect. They nod, but the mood carries an odd undercurrent. They're not angry at him, they're afraid of the HOA now. Afraid of what they missed. What else they might have been manipulated into. The conversation fizzles awkwardly. Nobody knows what comes next. Karen's fall. By noon, news spreads faster than any HOA email ever did. A message posted to the community board. Effective immediately, Karen Jefferson has resigned from the HOA. The comments section explodes with likes. No defense. No sympathy. Karen disappeared overnight, no car in the driveway, curtains closed, as if she's hiding from the world she once controlled. Ethan watches from his window. He should feel victory. Relief. But instead, he feels unfinished business. Karen wasn't alone. Power like hers doesn't operate without permission or partnership. Someone let her behave that way. Or worse, encouraged it. A visit from the lawyer. Later that afternoon, the doorbell rings. Not a knock, just one short, confident chime. Ethan opens the door. Standing there is the elegant man from the meeting, charcoal suit, HOA legal badge clipped to a pocket. Mason Wolfe, HOA attorney. Late 40s, polished, unreadable eyes. A smile that feels like negotiation, not friendliness. Mason. Mr. Cole. I thought I should personally congratulate you. That was quite the presentation last night. Ethan. Not sure everyone enjoyed it. Mason chuckles softly, like they're sharing a private joke. Mason. Sometimes the truth is inconvenient, but necessary. May I? Ethan hesitates, then steps aside. Mason walks in, studying the house with calculated interest, not admiration, not judgment. Assessment. They sit in the living room. Mason. Before you worry, I'm not here to threaten or intimidate. In fact, quite the opposite. Ethan leans back, wary. Ethan. All right. What's the opposite? Mason folds his hands. Mason. I want to offer you a position. On the HOA board. Ethan blinks. Ethan. That's unexpected. Mason. Not really. You exposed malpractice, defended homeowner rights, and clearly know how to navigate legal boundaries. We need someone like you. Someone intelligent. Someone objective. Those words, intelligent, objective, poke at something Karen lacked. Mason knows it. He's complimenting strategically. Ethan. You want reform? Mason. We want stability. Control without chaos. Influence without scandal. Ethan hears it then. The quiet part Mason isn't saying, Karen wasn't rogue. She was useful. Until she became a liability. Ethan. You didn't stop her. Even when the lawsuit settled. A small pause. A ghost of a smile. Mason. Power structures don't collapse over one bad apple. We simply remove the spoiled ones to save the orchard. Ethan studies him. The metaphor is meant to sound wise. Instead, it sounds like a warning. Ethan. So you want me to replace Karen? Mason. I want you to help guide the community the right way. With transparency, legitimacy, and strength. Strength. Another coded word. Ethan. And if I refuse? Mason stands, still calm. Mason. Then someone else will take that seat. Someone who may not value fairness the way you claim to. He glances through the window at Ethan's Rolls-Royce in the driveway. Mason, subtle, pointed. It would be a shame if the community faced more misunderstandings in the future. He doesn't smile now. He doesn't need to. Ethan. So this is a deal. Not an offer. Mason nods. Mason. Welcome to how communities work. He hands Ethan a sealed envelope. Mason. Board elections will be held next month. I hope you decide wisely. Then he leaves. No threats, no hurry, no fear. Just confidence. Control. The door closes. Ethan stands alone, envelope in hand. The hint of a bigger enemy. That night, Ethan sits in the Rolls-Royce. Engine off. Silence around him. Leather interior soft as a whisper. He looks at his reflection in the dark screen of the dashboard. He thought Karen was the villain. A petty tyrant intoxicated on authority. She wasn't the disease. She was a symptom. The HOA isn't about rules. It's about gatekeeping. Influence. Quiet power. And now they want him to join it. Fight it from the inside? Or become the next puppet? The street lamps glow outside. A car drives by slowly, watching his house before turning the corner. He realizes the neighborhood isn't done watching him. Not to judge him now, but to see what he becomes. The Rolls-Royce hums to life with one button press. Ethan rests his hand on the wheel, caught between something he never asked for and something he might need to control before it controls him. His quiet life is gone forever. And the most dangerous battles aren't fought in courtrooms or meetings. They're fought in living rooms and driveways. One neighbor at a time. Fade out. The engine purrs. The game has just begun.